Well.
Next, Who's Who in the Zoo? A light-hearted look at the creatures who make monkeys of us all.
This driver is about to have her first accident in years, and it will be her fault. If she was insured with the NRMA, she would lose her maximum no-claim bonus for just one mistake. And that's not all. At the NRMA, that means she'd face an extra cost of $82. But at NSW AAMI would not touch her maximum no-claim bonus. No extra cost. NSW AAMI, where maximum no-claim bonus drivers of 4 years or more are not penalised for one mistake.
So, if you've had a maximum no-claim bonus for the last 4 years, transfer it. You'll be rewarded immediately with this free accident credit. AAMI is Australian Associated Motor Insurers, one of the country's biggest car insurers. With the NSW Building Society, they're an unbeatable team. NSW AAMI. It spells competition.
Fiddler is back. The world's most loved stage musical returns for a 3-week encore season at Her Majesty's Theatre. After its recent sellout season, the Australian Opera is bringing back Fiddler on the Roof, starring Hayes Gordon. This season is strictly limited, so don't miss the music and dancing, the happiness and tears. Don't miss the magic that is Fiddler on the Roof. Opening November 5 for a limited 3-week season. Book now at Her Majesty's and all Mitchell's Bass outlets.
Michelin is the tyre that goes on and on and on. And it's the tyre that saves you money in the long run, which is just one of the reasons why Michelin has built up a reputation among motorists as the best tyre in the world. Demand the best. Demand Michelin.
This is the state of the art. Introducing the new Mazda 929 hardtops. Instrument panels monitor all functions with digital accuracy. Handling is extraordinary, thanks to computer-controlled suspension. Its new overhead cam engine boosts power by 15%. The luxurious new Mazda 929 hardtops, also in 4-door sedan. Mazda leads the world again.
Children are better than their parents at making sure they're safely wearing car seat restraints. A Newcastle University professor, Rob Sanson-Fisher, says a survey of preschool children shows that teaching children to remind their parents about car safety could save lives and money.
More children between ages 1 and 14 die in road accidents than from anything else. The main reason, not wearing seatbelts. That's despite legislation requiring adults and children to wear them. The aim of Professor Sanson-Fisher's study was to compare the effectiveness of 2 attempts to increase the use of seatbelts by preschool children. One group was encouraged the traditional way, using parental pressure, while in a fresh approach, the other group of children was encouraged to do the reverse, that is, remind their parents to strap them in. The results were startling. A 15% increase in the use of child restraints amongst the second group.
We're quite stunned by the results. 15% is a good change result.
Sanson-Fisher claims to have proven that education is cheaper than coercion, and he hopes governments will take up the challenge.
It tends to be that deaths associated with cancer pluck at the community's heartstrings much more, but it's not the major cause of death, it's accidents, as I said, and there needs to be a recognition of that in funding.
A follow-up study is planned in 6 months to see how well the new teaching method has remained in the children's minds. David Reid reporting for Newsworld.
Animals lead a dog's life, or so the theory goes. Allegedly, the humans are the masters and their pets the slaves. The theory doesn't always work out that way in practice. Mike Leonard reports.
Do not touch your dial. This is a test. For the next few minutes, you will see animals on your television screen. That's because someone in the news business once said that the viewing public absolutely can't resist watching any feature involving animals or children. For now, however, I'm subtracting children from this feature equation simply because I don't want some people to think that I'd use this forum as just another cheap excuse to get my kids on national TV. Imagine.
Hello, welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
A wild kingdom full of interesting creatures. Strong, strange, colorful, beautiful. Yet guess which ones seem to interest us the most? Right, the ones that act the most like us. Do we feel a certain kinship to them? Hey, if that's a duck playing a piano and a chicken playing basketball, if that's a roller skating bird and a coal mining pig, then this must be... Of course. Where else could you see a high wire hen but in the Hot Springs, Arkansas IQ Zoo? For over 30 years, a real hit. And you know the reason.
Well, I guess we see a little bit of ourselves in the animals in some respects.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Isn't that why cartoons are so appealing? It's nice to feel emotionally superior, even to a cat.
How can I face my friends with a father that can't catch a mouse? For shame.
Stooping to act human.
Hey, what's going on here now? Stop it, Rover. What's the matter with you? Did you burn out a bearing or something? You silly dog.
But I thought pigs couldn't talk or dive until I saw the water show at Aquarina Springs in San Marcos, Texas. What must be going on in their little minds?
You can almost watch them think sometimes. They think, well, am I going to really get, fed for this?
What animals won't do to put on a show for us? But don't laugh. While they're mugging, look who's shoveling, and feeding, and scratching, and pedicuring. I hope they appreciate that.
With most of these animals, we're just some kind of movable furniture.
Furniture?
Furniture.
That's what his dog chews on. And what's with your whining? What's wrong with you, Pooch?
I guess he's just very demanding, like a bad child.
Oh, come on. Who's in charge here?
I'm trying desperately to become the master.
Calling bad dogs, calling bad dogs. Come in, Bad Dogs Incorporated of Austin, Texas.
Hello. How's my sweetie today?
Come in, Gitan Null. Come in and show these people how the boss should act.
It's a lot of body language and tone of voice and just attitude. Dogs know fear and anger. They can smell it on you, and so you just really can't show those things. You always have to be in control.
Hey, what's so funny about that? We're in control, aren't we? Don't forget, you're the beasts, and we're the masters.
Well, laugh.
Ha ha ha. Well, excuse me, but I think we as human beings are a bit more sophisticated than cartoon characters. I mean, really. For today, Mike Leonard, NBC News, Chicago.
And if you thought he was joking, well, so did we, until two more news stories arrived, which seemed to indicate that his jokes come uncomfortably close to home.
The raccoons in Ed Hank's backyard have no need to turn over garbage pails. They know where their next meal is coming from. They sit at the edge of the ravine waiting to mob their benefactor as he comes out the back door, as he has every night for 17 years.
Okay, come and get it. I talk to them when I'm out there feeding them, and people inside can't hear me, but I used to call each one by name when I didn't have very many of them, but now that's impossible.
Healthy raccoons are scared of people, but in Ed Hank, they sense a friend, and Ed has never been bitten.
They know me and I know them, and of course the young ones, you have to be careful of them because they'll grab for the marshmallow rather than use their hands. I have to worry about getting scratched more than I do getting bit.
At one time, Ed put out chicken necks and buttered bread, but word of the free lunch spread, and now 70 raccoons show up when Ed hands out 25 loaves of 3-day-old bread, 15 pounds of dog food, and 2 bags of marshmallows.
I suppose we spend $15 a week on them. But the wife or myself, neither one smoke or drink, so it's really cheap.
Visitors come often. They watch from inside through a picture window while Julia Hank does play-by-play.
They kind of crowd her out sometimes.
Here, Mindy. That's a good girl.
Fay Millspaw has 2 houses, hers and the monkey house. 12 years ago, Faye bought one monkey for a pet. Now she has 30. You might say Faye has gone ape over these simians.
Give me a kiss, Bobo. Come on, Paul. Such a pretty boy.
Now, some might call this household a zoo, but these apes display many human characteristics. They like to watch TV, color, of course, and they like it when Faye plugs in some good old rock and roll. Faye's bought most of her pets from people who tire of the ape's antics. She says monkeys aren't for everyone.
About the time they bite them, they get rid of them. And there's a lot of care, more than they would be for any other animal, because you gotta, you know, they're just like a kid. You gotta really take good care of them.
It's 1 year since a bomb killed 241 people at the American embassy in Beirut. That incident taught America the need for tight security. Or did it? A disturbing report when we return.
G'day, Jase. You want to go play the pennies?
Oh, no way, Eddie. I'm going out with Dad and his turbo diesel Jackaroo.
Since Martin bought the Holden Jackaroo, he and Jason have become best mates.
Good on you, Dad.
They go trail bike riding, camping, and last week it was my turn to take everyone for a leisurely Sunday drive.
Everybody right? G'day, Martin. Remember me?
Hello. Holden Jackaroo wagon gets it all together.
With an electric water heater on normal tariff, $1 gives you this much hot water. But off-peak Ream gives you more than twice as much hot water, because off-peak Ream uses low-cost off-peak electricity. So, all the hot water you're using right now will cost less than half.
Off-peak Ream. All the hot water you're using now, less than half the price.
If you think you couldn't possibly afford a classic French masterpiece in your home, think again. The original Châtel Napoleon 100% French brandy is a classic example of the brandy maker's art. A masterpiece that any brandy drinker can afford. So why settle for a copy? Châtel brandy, the French masterpiece you can afford.
Fiddler is back. The world's most loved stage musical returns for a 3-week encore season at Her Majesty's Theatre. After its recent sellout season, the Australian Opera is bringing back Fiddler on the Roof, starring Hayes Gordon. This season is strictly limited, so don't miss the music and dancing, the happiness and tears. Don't miss the magic that is Fiddler on the Roof. Opening November 5 for a limited 3-week season. Book now at Her Majesty's and all Mitchell's Bass outlets.
On the first anniversary of the bombing of the US Embassy in Beirut, which killed 241 Marines, Americans are honouring the dead in memorial services around the country. But NBC News also remembered that poor security was one of the main reasons for the success of the attack, and visited a number of embassies around the world to test their defences. In most cases, security is sadly and possibly tragically lacking.
Each day now, a security briefing. The Secretary of State, a man with global concerns, worrying about bomb-laden trucks and the strength of concrete barriers. The security of American diplomats has become a preoccupation of our highest leaders, and it may have already affected the shape of American foreign policy. The all too similar scenes of American embassies in ruin, of the blood of American diplomats and servicemen spilled in foreign lands, have unleashed a flood of concern. A surge of activity to fortify U.S. missions. But NBC News recently tested embassy security, and it seems the most basic lesson from 4 bloody truck bombings in Beirut and Kuwait still has not sunk in, no matter how clearly the message is preached in Washington.
Technology is not the answer. There is no substitute for alertness on the part of the individual and on the part of the post.
Israel, a place where America might expect its embassy to be well protected. This is what happened when NBC News drove a van past embassy guards and parked it in the street alongside the building. Nothing. For 20 minutes, it sat in a traffic lane as close to the building as the bomb that blew up the American embassy in East Beirut last month. No one bothered to look inside. At the large U.S. embassies in Europe, terrorism has produced a bumper crop of concrete flower pots and crash barriers designed to keep a suicide truck bomber away. And there seems to be a greater sensitivity to suspicious vehicles, but only slightly off the main embassy circuit. The picture changes. In the Dutch capital, The Hague, the embassy sits right on a main street. One might expect greater alertness. But twice in 2 weeks, an NBC News driver was able to drive a van loaded with boxes to the embassy's front door and run away straight past Dutch police assigned to guard the building. In one case, the truck sat parked for 20 minutes in plain sight of embassy surveillance cameras and a Marine guard. In the second, the driver returned to the van and moved it when he was told the ambassador was about to arrive. In neither case did anyone check out the van or the driver.
This is not meant to be a guide for terrorists. The State Department says it knows that its personnel and embassies are frequently under surveillance. Potential attackers may have already carried out similar tests. But despite the threat of attack, security men know that they can't have it all their way.
Our primary mission is to conduct diplomacy, to represent the United States. And we can't do this from behind a fortress.
Yet in El Salvador and elsewhere, U.S. embassies are beginning to look exactly like fortresses. $110 million will be spent next year building up the defenses, rewarding informants, buying guns and armored cars. There are many, like America's ambassador in Paris, who say committed terrorists can always find some chink in the armor.
It's very difficult to guard totally against an effective terrorist group. They have an enormous advantage, and if they're good, they can exploit it.
The ambassador, himself a potential target, works in an elegant old embassy in the center of the city. As with most of our missions abroad, there is practically no way to protect against a sniper or rocket attack from nearby buildings. The simple truth is that representing America abroad has become a riskier business.
Next, the news headlines and word of a late change in tomorrow's warm weather. Stay with us.
Breakthrough from Canon, copying in color. The colors of your life can now be the colors of your reports, charts, presentations, or just about anything. Canon's unique color technology lets you enlarge in color, reduce in color, collate in color, as well as black and white, and at about the same cost as black and white. From compact personal copiers to complete systems copiers, Canon has a copier for you. Canon. Is there any other way to copy?
This is the state of the art. Introducing the new Mazda 929 hardtops. Instrument panels monitor all functions with digital accuracy. Handling is extraordinary, thanks to computer-controlled suspension. Its new overhead cam engine boosts power by 15%. The luxurious new Mazda 929 hardtops, also in four-door sedan. Mazda leads the world again.
They say a good thing can't last, and the weather is a case in point. Warm and sunny is the forecast tomorrow, with a late change followed by storms. Winds will be fresh northwest to northeasterly and seas slight to moderate on a low swell. City temperatures 16 to 26, 12 to 31 for Liverpool and 12 to 32 for Richmond. Recapping our top stories, at least 8 people are dead and 65 injured after a fire in a luxury hotel in the Philippines, capital Manila. New South Wales surgeons plan to bypass the public health system by establishing special clinics in private hospitals. And finally, striking Peruvian civil servants in Lima occupied the Australian embassy for an hour yesterday, demanding more pay. They left quietly when the Australians told them there wasn't much they could do to help because they were foreigners. And that's all we have for you tonight. Our next news on 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'm Karina Kelly. From all of us at Newsworld, good night.